Okay, step 4 is probably the most time-consuming step in this exercise because it involves a lot of typing, and if you're like me, you're not necessarily the fastest typer in the world, typist I should say. Um, the biggest thing is this, this when you see the asterisk, that means add a new record. So in this case, we're going to add 5 records. This is figure 1-31. All you're doing is typing the data as you see there, going across, and then next record, and just keep adding those fields. I'm not going to sit here on the video and type all those fields. I'll do the first one, and then we'll skip and come back to step 5. Um, the biggest thing to recognize, though, is notice like under the company column in figure 1-31, it shows that on multiple lines. Same thing with a city on the fourth record, and the address in the fourth record, and so on. Um, don't make line breaks. Just simply type straight across. The only reason they have line breaks here is so they can fit it on the page for viewing purposes. But as far as typing, just type it right on in there. So the very first thing is your supplier ID, and that's alphanumeric ARE318, like that. I will tell you this. Um, Accuracy is incredibly important when you're entering data and you're creating your field names and those sorts of things. Check, double check, but make sure that you enter the information that you see properly. So anytime you're doing data entry, make sure that you're doing it uh, as accurately as possible, because it just causes nightmares if you don't. So in this case, it's Arsco Surgical, comma space, Inc., period. Now, again, notice I didn't try to make a line break. I just typed straight across. You can always increase, decrease the widths of the columns as we indicated in the last video. All right, so then supplies, address. So you can see why I'm not going to do all of these on the video, because it's monotonous as can be. Bridgeport, Connecticut. Oops. And zip is 06601. This brings up a really good point here. Notice that the zip code is a short text field, but the only data that's contained in it is numeric. But we have a leading 0 here. If we had made this a number data type, then we'd lose that 0. So zip code, the right choice for zip code is text as opposed to number as far as your data type is concerned. We'll talk more about that stuff next chapter. All right, student, where it says student first, obviously you should put your name there as opposed to the word student first. Some people do that though. If you didn't get your data type right on this one, on the initial contact date, you should notice right away, because when you click there, a little date button should pop up. If you don't see this little date button here, as soon as you click into this area, make sure that you go up here and change this to date and time before you start entering all your data. So just be aware of that. So that's the first record. And all right, then the next thing I'm going to do is come here, and then you would just enter the next record. So you're going to do 5 of those data entry. We'll come back after this. I'm going to type in the rest of these. I'll come back, and then we'll start on step 5 of the exercise.